Podcast. Welcome everybody to another episode of the.
No,
Sorry, I fucked it up. I fucked it up.
Oh, let's all point and laugh.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Tangent Podcast, episode 122.
122.
Number for the week of. Is that a lucky number?
Sounds lucky.
Somebody's lucky number.
For the week of July 10th, 2017, I am your host, Brian Thomas, alongside my lovely co-host over here, Justin Kane.
Hello.
The bootless wonder, Gary Hines.
Hello.
And with a podcast from the site pixelatedpoints.com, where we talk about the games that we've been playing during the week in a little segment we like to call Under Your Thumb. We take a quick break and come right back with the Drunken News game show. But first, we're going to tell you what we've been doing during the week. Gary, how was your week, pal? You've grown facial hair.
A lot of facial hair has been grown. I spent about 4 straight days on an island, and I think that's why I've been kind of growing
And it just
out.
grew in 4 days. That was it. Just being on the island.
That's it, man. I was on an island. There's no way out. Just had to survive. Saw
It's
some
impressive
dolphins,
for 4 days.
You know.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I was down in South Carolina, and yeah, it was awesome. It was just on the beach every single day, riding bikes. Saw some dolphins. Saw some alligators.
Very nice.
And yeah, and then back to work has been the worst.
Yeah, it's
The worst.
Soul-crushing.
The week after July 4th is just the worst work week.
Although I will say this work week was 3 days for me.
Yeah.
So I had Monday and Tuesday off. So it just worked, Wednesday,
Me too,
Thursday,
but I got to go
Friday.
into work tomorrow.
Oh, that's brutal. That's
So,
brutal, pal.
that
That got
just-
tomorrow off. Got a nice
for
little
you.
3-day week.
Yeah. How was your week, Brian?
It was pretty good. So last weekend, I went to a cookout. And apparently, out of the blue, I was talking to these two guys, Tommy and David, and I mentioned, hey, I do a video game podcast, and they were just all jazzed up. They really thought it was really cool. Great guys. I spent most of the day with them.
You buying beers for a review?
I didn't buy any beers. I just had a nice conversation with them, and apparently there were other people there. Obviously, it's a cookout, but other people had heard or overheard that I had a podcast. And they're like, oh man, like, have you heard? Have you met Brian? You got to meet Brian. He does a video game podcast. Let's go talk to him. And Tia, my fiance, like cut them off and was like, whoa, wait. Why do you fucking know that? Like, how is this getting around this cookout? So I met a bunch of really nice people over this past weekend at a 4th of July cookout, and we were just talking about video games for the majority of the day. So that was really cool. So shout out to you guys if you're listening. But yeah, my week, 4th of July.
Drop us a review.
Yeah, drop us a review.
Brian will buy you a beer next time.
I will certainly buy you a beer
Or a
next
Gatorade.
time. Or a Gatorade. But yeah, 4th of July happened this week.
Yep.
Fucking stars and stripes all over the place.
You guys play wiffle ball or what?
No hips and hands. We were lacking a coach.
Yeah,
Damn,
we played a
you
lot
had
of
no integrity. Couldn't get it done.
I feel
Don't
like
even
we
get us
all had
started.
integrity here in this
At least
room.
we showed up.
Except
Yeah.
one person.
showed
One
up.
person
Wow.
didn't
Pretty much.
have any
Everybody
integrity.
kept their errands for every other day.
Yeah. We got
I mean,
our
I knew your
errands done
circumstances
before.
were a
Yeah,
little
see,
weird,
before.
but,
I mean,
still.
the circumstances were I was on an
A
island.
little weird.
For 4 days.
You came home. You were home.
I was home, but I also had to get
Hey.
prepared for work as an adult and do. I literally didn't have my first.
Hey, I don't want to hear
beer
about
until
adult
7 o'clock.
talk on the 4th of July. It's
This is America.
blowing
No
hands
days off,
on,
man. No days
fireworks.
off.
Hey, so
I mean, it's not my-
Gary, we're not here to harp on you, but just don't talk to us about integrity.
Yeah,
You know,
that's right.
like,
We
just 'cause
weren't gonna hit you with anything, and then you threw the integrity. I wasn't having any
Wow.
integrity.
I mean, did you
And
guys play
I felt
wiffle ball? No.
No,
Okay. Well,
because
that's
We
how
a
played
shame.
better games.
How are we gonna do
Oh,
you dirty
don't-
like
don't-
that?
There
like
were
you
games.
did us dirty.
There were games. Let's
Better-
not say better games than
They were
wiffle
better
ball.
games.
But
Better
we,
games?
we had other games.
We had other games. We
There
had
was other
lawn
games.
games. Anyways, it's enough of this
Yeah, I agree.
rant. Justin, how was your week, pal?
I was at the wiffle ball list 4th of July party.
Yeah, and it was great.
It was a good party.
It was a damn good party.
Yeah, I drank a lot.
I saw Al's.
Took a swim.
Like Snapchats and.
Oh, he was Snapchatting?
Oh yeah. I mean, I was like there, but I wasn't.
You were nowhere.
Well,
to
you
be
definitely
found,
weren't
pal.
there.
You were
He
a
was
ghost.
folded underpants.
I'm glad that you guys hold me to that high accord that I need to come there to play wiffle ball and just.
It just didn't have the same feel
yeah,
to it.
I-
It didn't feel.
It wasn't the intensity wasn't
I
there.
couldn't do you dirty like that, Gary.
I
I told you
appreciate
that.
it.
I just told you that.
Appreciate it, man.
Steve, how was your week, pal?
Besides the wiffle ball list 4th.
Besides
and the
that,
lack
of course.
well, there was lots of integrity on our part.
You
but
guys sent me a picture of wiffle balls in wiffle ball.
We were waiting.
I mean,
for you.
Cody, my cousin, was swinging and missing out a bunch of
Oh
them.
man, that was just embarrassing.
But I mean, there was no real games going on.
Damn.
Yeah. Yep.
that's all I got.
All right.
That's it. See ya.
So we're gonna actually talk about video games on this video game podcast. And last week on Under Your Thumb, I went first or last. So I'm gonna pick myself because I'm fucking selfish.
Good choice.
No integrity.
No integrity whatsoever. So I played a new game this week.
Errands.
No, I played this new game. I saw it a while back, and I didn't know that it was on consoles, but it's called Typoman. So this game is a 2D puzzle platformer that has to do. Yeah, I know. Think of it like Limbo, right? Think of it like
Okay,
Limbo.
Not too bad.
So, but the puzzles all involve letters that you have to put together. So, like, there'll be a T, a C, and a U. So you have to push those letters together and then rearrange them in a so you go into a little menu, you rearrange them, and it says cut, and then it cuts a rope that's holding a drawbridge, and that drawbridge falls down, and then you can walk across.
I feel like you've mentioned this before for some reason, or I've
Maybe-
heard the name of it. Like, did you?
No,
Was it
this
on
is-
another console? Had you seen it before? And you
I
didn't
had
know?
I had seen it before. I had never mentioned it to you.
Oh, interesting.
But it is a very interesting game. It's
Man.
very dark. You die very quickly and very brutally in this game, just like in Limbo. But I really am enjoying the puzzle mechanics and using of the words. However, I will say that a lot of the times I'm trying to use a word that I feel like would fit to do what I want it to do, and it's not really what the game is looking for. So, for example,
There's really only one way to do it.
no, there is like one way to do it, but there's multiple different words that you keep trying. So
Yeah.
there's very early on you find an N that's just sitting there, but at the beginning of the game you kind of roll down a cliff and then your character is there, and you run to the end. And you just like you don't know what's happening, so you run to the beginning of the level where you were, and there's an O that's like a rock that fell down, and then you push that the O all the way to the end. It says on, and then something turns on and it goes up and down, and then you can go further on.
Okay.
So that's pretty simple. But then there's other parts of the game where you think on would do something as well, but it's not on. There's, it's another word like
like no.
well, no, there's power or like tilt, turn, things like that. There's lots of words that you can create. A lot of dirty words as well.
I'm sure.
And it just so every time you find a new word, it
Like
tells you
filth?
like cunt.
Oh, Brian.
That's one.
Oh, Jesus.
Whoa.
So
That's what we're starting out
Yeah.
with.
Whoa. From Brian?
so I was
Jeez,
playing
marked
it.
the time.
I was playing it with and Tia was watching, and she was like,
She walks in seeing you try to spell these dirty words, Brian.
well, she was like, what is this? And I was explaining it to her, and she was like, can you, because like it was cut, is what I was trying to do, but the N was still there, so she was like, can you do that? And I was like, let's find out. Yep, and that's
Can't
a word.
believe she approved of that.
Yeah, she co-signed on that. I'm going to have to talk to her.
Yeah.
I think it was
Give
more
her-
of a.
These kind of
her a word or
shenanigans.
two.
These kind of shenanigans are not on her level.
I feel like
This
it
is
was
our
more
level
of
shenanigans.
curiosity rather than approval.
Yeah, well,
How do you die?
this cat's dead.
How do you die? So there are enemies in the game similar to Limbo, if you will. So you know how like the spider in Limbo is chasing you. There are these small little, I guess they're word monsters. So like you can.
English teachers?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean,
So they'll grab some letters and put them together, so it'll be like hate or evil or anger or whatever, and those letters then kind of like combine together and make this like enemy. So your character actually is an O for head, an E for body, and H for legs, and then you have like a comma for your arm. So like you play as a little guy, but he's made up of punctuation. It's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie to you, he's kind of cool. But
he's
then,
always on time. Because he's punctual? Right?
wow.
I mean, come on. That's a good one.
Holy shit! Good.
Woo! Thanks for
I don't know,
ruining
that
it,
was a
Brian.
rough
No,
one.
that was rough for. I'm mind blown.
Yeah.
Right now. Mind
Dude, this
blown.
is-
So what are you
This is
playing
what we
this
got.
on, Brian?
I'm playing it on my PS4, but it's on Xbox One, PC. I even think it's on the Wii U. which is kind of crazy
So
to
you
me.
know it's
It's
good.
not on the Switch.
Top notch. I'll take a look.
Not on the Switch though.
Not on the Switch, which is strange.
Probably
But
can't run it.
I'm having a lot of fun actually with the game, except for when there's parts where it's you think that you find like 4 or 5 words that fit, and it doesn't do what you want it to do.
Like cunt.
Well, maybe they're doing it on purpose so that you'll have to think of other words, synonyms, and all this
Well,
bullcrap.
yeah, but there was one part that I did earlier today that was it was like a word processor. So some of the letters for the most part you just find in the world, but there was an industrial park that I was in, and it was just spitting out letters, and you could pick what letters you wanted it to spit out. So there's just like 20
So
letters
you got
or
a typewriter.
like 15
basically.
letters, and then you have a typewriter, and it's like you can choose from these letters, and I'm like, okay, great. And like there's so many different things that you can do, and you're just like, how does that
Yeah, like
kind of work?
Like who made this game? How many possibilities did they put in there for real?
Yeah, so you can actually see all the words, and you can't see them, but like once you unlock them, it shows up on a stat bar. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think the PlayStation mid-year sale had it for like $4, so it's definitely worth the $4 to me. If you like anything like Limbo, puzzle platformers, Inside, anything like that, I would certainly just look at it, see if it's a game for you. But the only other game that I played and I actually finished from last week was Oxenfree. So last week, Gary and I talked about Oxenfree. You should probably go back to episode 120 and listen to that. But I beat Oxenfree, and in total, probably about 4.5, 5 hours long.
Sounds about right.
It's nothing crazy. Really love character development and where they take the story. So last week I was on the brim of like shit's about to hit the fan.
Yeah.
And shit hits the fan.
It
So
gets fucking weird.
I was playing this with headphones on,
Yep.
which is very scary because the game focuses around this, this central gameplay mechanic of changing the environment or progressing in the story by using a radio that has a bunch of different frequencies. Now the problem with that is that you're on basically a deserted island, or like an island that was once flourished, and it was like a military base and it had a bunch of houses and stores and things like that, but now it's abandoned.
Okay.
So kids go there, they drink. Some people still do like summer vacations there or whatever.
People
so
get
there's
murdered there.
yeah, people get murdered there. So
Yep.
there's lots of like creepy things going on during these radio broadcasts, and I don't want to spoil the story, but
It's a story game.
yeah, you can't
say anything.
you can't really say too much about it. But the radio mechanic is fascinating.
Well,
Yeah.
you said
Well, that Fallout kind of does it that way with a lot of their lore.
Yeah, but this is
it's like the main.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was always my favorite kind of stuff to find. You're stoked when you see the audio ones. You're like, fuck yeah. give me
so
those.
this was
Dumb.
you're kind of like you're trying to
BioShock
tune
too.
you're trying to tune a radio station but you don't know what the radio station is, so you're going from one end of the spectrum to the other, and you're trying to listen for something,
It'll like
and
open doors.
and it'll open doors, it'll like open
Other
portals,
things.
it'll open other things for different conversations, but a lot of the times it's really creepy shit that's happening
Yeah.
and that you're listening to. So listening like in the headphones, just very eerie, very
creeped out.
yeah.
You said
a lot of the
last
time.
week off air that you ran into me. So I think we should
So-
talk about that mechanic a little bit, because that's different than
Any other game really.
in anything that even when I was playing, like no one else on my friends list had played it.
So this is kind of perfect to talk about. So there's 3 points in the game that I found that a reflection of myself spoke to my character and gave them advice.
Solid advice, by the way.
I followed one of the
Solid
3, and the person that gave me that advice was the bootless wonder himself,
Gerald Hines.
Gerald Hines.
leading
So
the way.
it is very cool because the first reflection that I saw, it just said Grizz right above his head. And I was like, oh shit, is this what Gary said? Like, clearly that's what Gary said. So I was like waiting for that option because he's giving you advice, but you don't know when that advice is coming. It's not in that same moment. So
So later on down the line.
what I did was I took out my phone and fucking wrote down Gary in the mirror said this. So that way I would have
I
it
would just
down.
taken a picture because I'm lazy.
Yeah, but they don't. It doesn't write it out. They say it.
Okay.
So I thought that was a super unique mechanic because I spoke with Gary off air about it last week, and he was like, "Oh well, no one really did they." So what happened in those scenarios for you? So like the first time you saw a reflection of yourself that spoke to you, did it give you one of the options?
Yeah.
Just randomly?
But all I saw was a reflection of myself with nobody's name over it.
Yeah.
So it's to lead the story that way, but obviously now we know that if you have other friends that have played this game on the system, because I believe it's on.
I'm playing this on Steam. Yeah.
You're playing this on Steam, but I believe it's on
Xbox and
Xbox
PlayStation.
That if you have friends on your friends list that have played the game and the decisions they've made through the game, it
Will
will
basically reflect.
reflect what comes through the reflection of the mirror.
Which is really cool. I did only take one of your pieces of advice, and I wish I didn't.
You're terrible.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's not like Gary at the moment was trying to leave advice for you.
no, I
So
was
you
making
gotta-
my
you
own
gotta-
decisions.
yeah, he was just
You know,
living his
I
life.
led the way,
Yeah.
my own life. You know, Brian.
Trailblazer.
I myself, I love this game. As I was playing it, I was just going, "This is a Brian game,
Yeah.
through and through." And like I said, we spoke about it last week a little bit. That the fact that it reminded me of the show Stranger Things. So if you haven't watched Stranger Things and you like this game, I suggest watching Stranger Things. It's very similar. But I mean, to me, it was as soon as I saw it went on sale on Steam, I had to gift it to Brian.
Which I appreciate.
So I'm
Smack
glad you
City.
liked it, but I do recommend it. It's definitely cheap right now, and if you can play it on any console, it's one of those games 4-5 hours worth
Yeah,
of gameplay.
you can really beat it in one night if you have the time and you're just go for it.
Really interesting story, and I highly suggest following them on Twitter. I don't know their Twitter handle at this moment.
I think they're
Nightshade
Nighthawk
or something.
Nighthawk?
Nighthawk would be a sick Twitter
You have
name.
to call me
Follow
Dragon.
Nightheart. But they always throw
Pulled
up
that
like
shit out of your
really,
ass, bro.
really cool fan
Fan art.
fan art.
There's
to
a
this
lot
game
of
is really interesting.
So a lot of the time, you play as millennials, for lack of
Yeah.
a better term, but they're like, "Hell, let's take a picture." Like, what the fuck? Let's take a picture. Like, get close. I like the way that the story wraps up, and I like that they give you stats like the end of a Telltale chapter. It's like
This
you
many
and
people.
you and 48% of
So-
players did this.
You said before that you were afraid that you were hoping the ending would turn out that it always comes to the same conclusion, even though you're making your own choices. How did that go for you?
So I know that I know that there are different endings to the game because of the options that you have. I think I went like with the majority of most people, except for on one thing. But
Probably the thing that I picked.
So are you gonna like? It's not what you feared, though, right? You're satisfied. You're not
yeah,
gonna have
I'm
to play through
I'm
it a million
satisfied
times.
with the ending. There was something that I didn't like about the end, but we'll talk about that off air. Not to spoil it for you guys.
Yeah, I felt like the three major choices that are made at the end of the game, they're not necessarily the big twist at the end. I feel like they're more like subplots to the actual story. So I feel like the story kind of wraps up, but then you have your subplots to it. So it's interesting.
Certainly. I would say, Gary, I don't really have any other games, so
Okay.
why don't you go ahead?
All right. Well, I mean, I'll continue on from last week. I played more of Lawbreakers,
Nice.
and the only thing I'm gonna say, I cannot wait for this fucking game to come out. Like, it is so much fun to play. I only been playing.
the soldier character still.
No, I went more. I tried out like the health character. The Titan's really cool. He has a rocket launcher.
I saw some people doing some weird ass like rocket launcher speed running by shooting the floor and like going fast
so
and
with the
crazy
Titan,
high.
you literally can shoot the floor to jump into zero grav and then shoot behind you to shoot you up. And like
Yeah.
the movement in this game is
I saw someone going nuts with it. It was like one of those 30-second videos of a guy. He must have been crushing the whole team, and he just was zooming through, shooting his feet with the rockets, going flying, and fucking people up. It was cool
it's
looking.
super fast. That's why I'm really interested to see how it plays on console compared to PC, because like it is that quick that I feel like this is going to be a game that I feel like catches on really well with the PC crowd, whereas it's not going to be the same experience as like an Overwatch for the console people, the plebs out there. But I cannot wait for this game to come out. I only played probably 4 matches, and then I stopped myself and I was like, I don't want to outdo myself on the beta. It's coming out in a couple months, so
sometime in August. So
yeah, $30 for it. So can't wait for that to come out.
also, Oxenfree, Night School Studios.
Night School. So Nighthawk, pretty close.
Nighthawk, pretty close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like a gladiator. Nighthawk. Remember the show Gladiators?
American Gladiators. Yeah,
It's good.
yeah, that's
Good.
great, wonderful, good
Classy
insight.
show though.
Well, I wasn't. It was a good show.
Early '90s. That's
That
like-
cannonball, the tennis ball launcher. I always wanted to like run from that thing. But anyways, back to Nighthawk Studios.
Sorry, Gary. Please continue with your games.
Yeah, so that's it for Lawbreakers. It's coming out in a couple months. I'm super excited for it. Played more Overwatch again this week, obviously. Can't stop playing it, but recently, as
Yeah.
of what, yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday,
So
midday
if
yesterday.
you're listening to this last Thursday, Blizzard announced Doomfist. They
Yep.
threw it out there, and they say he's available now on the PTR. They released a pretty epic animated, like anime type cinematic for it, which I liked because it was different than the previous cinematics that they've had for the characters, where it was more in the art style of the game, where this is more anime style.
Yeah.
So I liked the little short clip they had for that. So Doomfist has been released. He is not Terry Crews.
Not Terry Crews.
Not Terry
That's a little
Crews.
sad.
Although I think it makes sense, and I talked to you guys about this off air, was that the character is from Nigeria. Terry Crews doesn't have a Nigerian accent. And with all of the other characters in Overwatch, they're all pretty true to their nationality. So it's, like you have Zarya speaking Russian, and she has a Russian accent when she speaks English. I'm sure Terry Crews doesn't have a Nigerian accent and can't speak Nigerian
I still think Terry
properly.
Crews is coming in.
I think so too. I think
think
that he's going to be something
Everybody,
else.
everybody thought he was going to be Doomfist. He's going to be something else.
Yeah, I think he's going to be something else.
Even if like they were to just do something like a skin for Doomfist, which was just like Old Spice skin,
Like
and it
Terry
was just
Crews.
Terry Crews.
That would be awesome.
And then he just had the voice of Terry Crews. That's his skin.
abdominals.
Or if he did the
That-
Terry Crews robot dance emote or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was
lines.
like his legendary for one of the events or something. Or yeah. That would
But
be
anyways,
Yeah, if they had like a celebrity event when everybody is different celebrity, that would be cool.
awesome. That would be pretty awesome.
that
They
could
did
be
something like
interesting.
that.
That'd be
But
different.
what about the actual character? himself?
Yeah, so I mean, the character himself, he's an attack character, which I know we
cool.
speculated. We thought maybe tank, defense.
Because that was a humongous fist.
I
You would
mean,
think tank character from seeing the fist.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought that he was going to be this agile. His movement is very fast. He's very fast, and it's a different type of movement than any other character. He's got a mix of a couple different characters with him right now. So he's kind of similar to like a Tracer or a Reinhardt charge with his fist slam, where you can charge it up. So I played him on PC. So it's like right click on PC, charge up his fist. The longer you charge it up, the further
further
you'll
it
go,
goes.
the more damage you'll go. It's only on a 5-second cooldown right now. So you can do that pretty consistently. And then you also have his uppercut. So he does an uppercut. So the movement with this guy, the fact that he can go really fast and really far with like a Reinhardt dash, but then he can also get up to height advantages with his uppercut, and then he also has a jump on top of that. The
He's going to be covering
possibilities
some ground.
are pretty crazy. I mean, you think if you had a Widowmaker or a Hanzo up at the top of a building, this guy can get up there
Yeah.
like very quickly, whereas like Tracer can't. Like Tracer has to go around and do this.
It's kind of like Genji in a sense, where Genji can like dash, but that's like a pretty long cooldown, but then he can run up walls.
Yeah, I think his is on like a 10-second.
Yeah, so he's not as fast as Genji, I don't think.
No.
But he can get around just the same.
He can't clamber though, right?
No clamber.
You have
But
to
you
use
do
the
when you
uppercut.
do
He
uppercut.
floats a little bit.
You can float because then it shows you a marker. If you were to jump after that,
Like your
it'll
jump
show
slam.
you where you're gonna land. And so then the other thing that's very interesting about this character that's not been in Overwatch before is if you do any damage with any of your abilities, you get a shield. You get a percentage on your shield back.
And it looks like it deteriorates.
Yeah, it deteriorates over time, and then obviously if you're getting hurt,
Attacked.
it's gonna go down first. He starts off with 250 XP, which is pretty beefy.
Health.
Um,
250 health.
Not XP.
Not
Yeah.
XP.
Health.
Sorry.
HP,
Yeah.
HP, my bad. But yeah, no, I've only played a couple matches with him, and the matches that I've played with him have been pretty fun. I think he is going to be pretty viable. I think it's going to be interesting because right now in Overwatch, there's the meta is kind of like a dive meta, so they call it like a dive comp, where a lot of teams on attack are picking a lot of like the quick characters. So like for your tanks, you're going Diva, you're going Winston, and then you're going like Lucio, and you're getting like Pharah or Genji or whatever. So you're getting these comps to jump on the team right away and get behind them and try to kill their healers first. So he's going to fit right into that meta. So it's going to be really interesting. I still think he's got some good counters, most likely, that will come from it. I was mentioning earlier to you guys that I think Sombra would be a great counter for him if she can, go invisible, get behind him, and hack him. Because if he's hacked, like
The only thing, so his primary fire is almost like a secondary one, which is funny, is that he just has 5 or 4 shotgun blasts on his left hand. So his primary fire, or that would be his left trigger, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So
So that's gonna eat Sombra in probably 2 shots if she doesn't get it.
and it
If
does
you- but
damage from afar.
I will
too.
tell you
But
right
I'm-
now, though, just from my experience, a lot of people are playing Sombra now, especially in competitive. And I mean, I think that if you're playing Sombra, you throw down one of your, teleporters, you go invisible, you hack him, you teleport, you're out. Like, he's not going to touch that. So I think she'd be a pretty good counter.
I think your Winston would still get him if he's not getting shots on you. You'd still be able to, like, if you jump over his punch or he doesn't land a punch on you, you could still electrocute him pretty well.
no, I mean, I don't think he's going to be incredibly overpowered, but I think, like, it's definitely going to be a skill-based character that can do a lot of damage very quickly and get in and out of places.
And he'll be able to get out of places is an important thing,
Yeah, and
I
his
think-
ultimate is the Meteor Strike.
which I saw goes through everything. That's pretty insane. It was killing a lot of people.
Yeah, so they also have been having a lot of glitches on the PTR. So I'm guessing he's not going to be released to the public for a little bit because the glitches I've been seeing is literally people going into his ultimate and it puts them through the map, and you can get into different areas of the map like outside, like out of bounds, and like out of bounds. And
He's
stuff.
just going off.
Yeah, so he's going all over the place right now.
Okay.
But his ultimate is a Meteor Strike where literally you pretty much get sucked up into the sky. You go invisible to everyone. And the way that it's working to what I've seen so far is once you click it and you go up in the sky, like you hear like there's like kind of like, McCree does like high noon. Everyone gets like some sort of audio
Yeah, there's like a tell, if you will.
tell for it, and then shit, like he's gonna come down in a second, and it's on a timer. So there's 2 different circles. So there's one big circle, and then there's a smaller circle in the middle that's spreading out. So you only have the time that it spreads out to the very edge. Then you're going back down, or you can click it if you want to do it again, and then you can literally once you click it, you can move it around the entire map as long as you don't run out of time.
So yeah, you activate it and then you pick where you want to land it, almost like a Roadhog tire or a Junkrat tire, but you don't see it. Nobody else sees it. So he makes the circle, and from one of the videos I look like, people can't see it, so they're just scattering in all directions.
You
and
can't see it, but once you click it again, people can see it.
Yeah, and
So
then
if
if
it's
he
like a
selects you as the
2-second,
target, you'll see like, oh shit, it's
Yeah.
around me. Keep going.
but you only have like
But he's probably gonna
seconds
squash
Yeah.
you.
to come down. So, I mean, I sent Justin the video of him in the Zarya bubble where they wiped out 6 people.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
it's
was
going to
a
be
good one.
another wombo combo type deal. And I think he's going to be pretty viable. I think it's going to be interesting to see what he does when you actually play him. Like right now, obviously, you're going into matches on the PTR and it's everyone is Doomfist. You can't really tell how the character is going to be with all the different.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm like interested to see how he actually does, where he's playing with other characters and like you kind of learn, okay, who's a good counter for him, who actually ends up being a good counter.
Yeah, who's a good
to him.
teammate for
Yeah,
him.
exactly. Things like that.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that I'm more interested in, more of the chess game, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, but I think that's where Jeff Kaplan, I know he came out just today. I saw an article where he was talking about the fact that he thinks that Overwatch is very balanced at this point. That he likes the dive meta that's been implemented in the game because it makes things more exciting. It's not beforehand. People used to, a couple months ago, there was a 3 tank meta that they had.
Yep.
Where everyone was going 3 tank comps, and then you could do 3 tank, 3 support, and you could get through it, and it wasn't that fun to watch, and especially that Overwatch is putting together their esports league and everything like. They're looking for the funnest comps that teams are going to be playing, for that league and everything like that. So I think he's going to fit right into it. I think it'll probably be a couple weeks before he comes out live. If not, maybe
I'm
next
thinking
week. But
August 1st. So that's a whole month.
a whole month. I mean, maybe.
Because when was Orisa announced, like right after the PTR, like they were done with her in the PTR, they announced her immediately?
Yeah, as soon as
Or did they
as soon
take
as-
her away for like a week and then?
They don't take them out of the PTR.
Okay.
They go straight live. So once they hit the PTR, they're pretty much done. They might tweak a couple of things. They might increase like his
Buff or nerf or
cooldown or something like that. Just
Well,
based off
I
of
also
what they're
think
seeing.
that like if he's going off the map and shit like that, there's a lot of things that they probably have
Technical
to
things.
fix.
Oh yeah, well that's what I was saying. You didn't see those type of glitches with the other characters
Mm-hmm.
that were coming out, especially because he's so mobile and he can get to certain areas in the
Mm-hmm.
maps. Now they're probably seeing as people are.
They need to put
Testing it
walls
out.
places they've never been before
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty crazy shit. But like just like the fact that he can jump like a Winston. So like at the end of King's Row, like how you can go underneath and jump under to get behind the people at the very end of the map. Like he can do the same thing. He can go underneath, come up behind, and like he's pretty ridiculous. So it'll be interesting to see.
That's cool. Very nice.
And then lastly, I just Steam sale bought Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4
Great
Dead 2
game.
was a couple of bucks.
Great game.
And I'll tell you, I mean, I went back and I've been playing. I'm through like the first section, like the hotel section of the game, and I mean, it brings back all the memories. It's so good. It's so good. It feels right playing it on PC. I will say.
So when
that.
you get to you need a teammate to do it. But when you get to the carnival level, you should just
I think
record
I
it.
could do it myself.
You should record it. For me.
Yeah, I will.
Thank you.
I will. So once I get to the carnival level, I'm going to be recording a let's play of me
Of
in
the great,
gnome,
one of the best achievements ever in
me
any
and the
game.
gnome making it to the very end of the carnival. But it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's just one of those games that it's a mindless zombie game, but
It has personality.
it does. But it's like I completely forgot about the witches. I turned a corner and there was just a chick just sitting in the corner. I just started shooting her, and all of a sudden it's like you alerted the witch, and I completely forgot about it.
Yeah,
how badass
witches are crazy.
But they have all the enemies that you would imagine from a zombie game, and as far as like the ones that spit the toxins in your
Yeah,
face,
ones
and
that
then the crawlers,
explode
and I forgot how like really co-op that game is. As far as like if you get attacked by a zombie or it's on you, you can't do anything. You
Your
have to wait
teammates
for your
need to shoot
teammates
them
shoot
off.
it. So you can either play this game through online co-op or just single player where you have the bots, but you have to have people with you. I've had a couple of different weapons so far. Like, so you have the silenced submachine gun. I got the Magnum, so I've been using
It's all
that.
about the melees.
Yeah, you got the axes, the baseball bats, and then I got the assault rifle was the last gun that I got. But, I mean, it's just... I love just funneling a bunch of zombies into a corner, and then you get, your gas canister, and you're just lighting it up.
Melt 'em.
It just brought back memories. I remember me and Justin...
Played the
when-
living shit out of this game.
Oh yeah, I remember I think we got like almost every achievement in the game, and there was one achievement where you had to kill like 1 million zombies, and me and Justin found like this one spot in the game where there was just endless zombies, and we literally
Yeah, because
sat
we
there
wouldn't
for, like,
activate a checkpoint or something, so they kept pouring in.
pouring in,
Just
and
crouch
we,
shoot.
we sat there for I think like 2 or 3 hours just killing zombies just to get this achievement.
Did you get it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh
we
yeah.
definitely
dude.
got that achievement.
Yeah, we don't
Killing-
fuck around. It's reminded me of the Halo achievement we got for getting the score in the Horde mode.
Yeah, firefight.
Firefight, yeah. We're savages like that.
Yeah, no, me and Justin.
We're achievement hunters.
That's it, man. But that's all I got. That's all I got this week. Justin, What do you got?
Bring it in.
What do you got for me?
Bring it in. This week, I still don't have any new games. I've been dicking around. I went back to Fallout 4. There's still some achievements that I haven't gotten.
Oh, you've been achievement hunting.
I've been hunting them
Weird.
out.
It's like a weird transition
Nice.
right
Yep,
there.
been
It's a good
hunting-
transition.
Yeah,
is
baby.
what that is.
Interesting.
Shake it. So yeah, I went back. I got surprisingly there are some I don't have. Which one was to collect one of the Nuka DLC. There's 20 flavors of. You can find 20 recipe books, and you can make them, and that's an achievement. All the achievements I got, I think there were 4 of them. Less than 1% of people who have this game have them. So I was
Nice.
very surprised by, like, nobody takes the time out to do them. So yeah, I got that. There's one for the settlement that I completed, and really nothing too crazy. Just hunting for them. It took literally about 10 to 15 hours to get these 4 achievements. And there's still 5 more I gotta get. So yeah, that's it for me. Fallout 4, living the dream.
Nice achievement hunting, pal.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice job.
I'm back at it. So who am I going to, Brian?
So close, pal. Why don't we head on over to Steve? It's like he wasn't even paying attention.
I don't know. Yeah, I've just been playing more. Well, Zelda Breath of the Wild DLC came out. So, you might want to pick that up.
Yeah.
$20, you get both of them. I don't even know what they're called, but there's a summer one, I guess, and then there's a holiday one.
Yeah.
So, I obviously have the summer one. There's maybe, I didn't count them, but 6 new side quests, I think. Something like that. They're masks, I think, the majority of them. So, you can get 6 new masks, or 4, whatever it is. Majoros,
The Korok seed.
Korok seed one.
Something to do with Tingle.
Is there a Tingle mask?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
There's a Tingle suit.
Yeah. Oh,
Tingle's a weirdo.
yeah. Then there's a Twilight Princess thing. There's a
There's
a fairy
Phantom-
suit.
Yeah.
It's I think 3 separate like quests per se. You got to do 3 separate things
Is it
in
the
it. 'Cause-
Phantom armor? Is that what that one is? Or is that just something else in general?
Which one? Just
The Phantom armor. So, you know,
it
the
might be
Phantom
that might
Knights?
be the Twilight Princess one.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So there's that. There's the hero mode, and then there's a master quest mode, I guess.
I
So
think it's Master Trials, right?
might be Master Trials.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what it was called on the main screen, but the Master Trials creates a separate save file for you to do it, and then I hit it when I bought it, and it basically starts. It's the whole new game.
Yeah, that's
That's the
the
same mode.
hard mode.
That's the
That's
hardest-
hard
that's the
mode.
hard mode.
Hard
Hard
mode.
mode.
And then there's
That's what you've
also
been waiting for.
right.
Yeah. Have you played it?
I haven't gone in it because I didn't realize what it was doing.
I'm
I
excited-
thought
I'm
when I
excited to
thought
talk
hard
to you
mode, I
about
thought
that.
it was partly the like the trials.
No, so the trials are like
Is-
separate.
Right, which is Anthony was saying because Anthony had bought it too. He said it's very similar to Wind Waker, like where you go or Twilight Princess, where you just like go down floor by floor, I think, of something,
Oh yeah. Yep.
and just you face enemies, and they get tougher and tougher as you go down. So, and I don't think he was also saying because I don't have the Master Sword yet. I think the trial mode requires you to get the Master Sword because you have to put it back to do it.
To start the trials.
Yeah. So
So get the Master Sword.
we'll see.
Stop being a Sokolov. Get the Master Sword.
Maybe I'll just get the Master Sword in the second hard mode.
Yeah, we'll go through it that time.
Yeah. But I got Majora's Mask so far. It's just similar to a normal side quest. You know, they give you like a hint. You go read like a journal thing, and they're like, hey, you got to go somewhere over here. And then you just dig around, and you
Yeah.
got to kind of figure out what, you know, you got to use the bombs, or you got to use magnesis, or
Or what?
whatever the fuck it is to get it.
anything of the
And just
Sheikah
minor,
slate.
just minor ability changes for the mask. Nothing character changing or anything like that.
No, it's not like Majora's Mask. You don't change it in anything that I'm aware of yet. It's just, it gives you, so the Majora's Mask, I think, gives you more of a stealth, or it allows you not to see, you know, certain enemies won't
See you.
really see you.
like the monster masks and stuff.
The what is it? The seed one will help you find
Korok seeds.
Korok seeds, wherever the fuck they may be. But is that any different than? You can't put Korok seeds on like the finder thing, right? No.
No.
So actually,
That's super helpful
Super
for
helpful.
Korok seed hunters.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah, because there's 900.
There's
900
also
of them.
the last 200 hours of you roaming around. It records.
Oh yeah, so
you
it's
can
called
literally-
Hero Path, I believe.
Sure.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the purpose of that was. I didn't give
Just
a
to
shit.
see where you've been on the map. So like you can be like, oh, I've never been to this one area. Let me go check out that area.
It's a good point.
So
I saw it was just a bunch of fucking lines that I didn't know
what was that?
what was going down.
Sounds sketchy to look
You can
at.
turn it off.
Yeah. It's kind of cool though that it's
it's
200
kinda cool.
hours, which is a lot to record.
Well, I mean, I must be close to 200 hours by now in general, if not over. It's a good game.
Yeah,
I've
I
got
really
something
like
like
it.
90, so
What's that?
I've
you
got
go.
something like 90 hours
Yeah.
right now.
I think
Right.
I'm at like 8,
Nice.
Killing it.
almost there.
Almost there.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it out, exploring more. I think the trials is my interest more than necessarily the playing it over again harder.
I wouldn't. If I'm
You've
gonna
been talking about playing through the game on hard mode.
Yeah, but I thought it was playing. I thought they were just gonna make enemies harder and then I could fight them. I didn't really want to necessarily go through the game again. I'm gonna go through it again on the Switch when I get it, but not
hard mode.
not hard, not on the Wii U. No. I will. I want to do it on hard mode. I would love a way to do it if I could.
Right off the bat, like a
Right
game
off
of
the
year.
bat, do the
I
hard
bet
mode.
you probably could.
If
you
I just
bought
download the DLC,
yeah, I'm sure
I
you
might
could.
be able to finagle something.
There's
but
no
I'm
reason
interested
that
in
you shouldn't be able
the
to do that.
trials. Yeah.
I probably won't get this or the like expansion pack until the second one comes out, which is like you go back the 100 years and you play
Yeah, that's
when the 4 champions are around.
Oh yeah, I think I tweeted. There was something tweeted out today by Nintendo showing the 4 champion mode
Yeah, well,
or whatever it is, champion mode.
yeah, the creator was talking about how I guess you still play as Link in this. So everyone thought you were going to play as Zelda.
Oh,
But
that's
he
right,
confirmed
yeah.
that you still indeed play as Link. So,
For now,
Pretty cool.
who knows what the fuck could happen?
yeah, who knows?
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
All right, and that's going to be it for Under Your Thumb this week. We're going to take a quick break and come right back with the Drunken News Game Show.